can do, just maybe for one night only, if it has to be. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and just email us in at the Wrestling Skull Podcast at gmail.com for more stuff. Matt, going back to the sort of native world of wrestling, some more news I heard this week. Cody Rhodes is joined up with in sort of New Japan. He's in the Bullet Club. What do you make of that?
Well, that was kind of an unexpected twist for me. I didn't see that one coming, I got to admit. I guess it's kind of good exposure for him. I mean, people have been following him since he left WWE, wondering what he's going to do next, and if this is the next step, then, okay. I didn't see it coming, so I guess it's something that gets people talking at least. I think most people want to see Cody Rhodes do well, because, I think everybody kind of agrees the reasoning that he left. I think everybody's kind of for it, and for taking that step, not just to sort of ride along in that role and sort of go and try and make something for yourself and come back stronger. I completely see where he's coming from, so I really hope it works out well for him. I know he's had some runs elsewhere. He's done a couple of great matches, I hear, in the UK with Kurt Angle as well. So hopefully, that going forward, that's going to be a decent mark for him. And you never know. We'll probably. I will say this much. I believe we'll see him back in WWE at some point. I really do. Can't see him being out for that long. Not with all the his family heritage and all the rest of it. But I like the fact that he kind of wanted to get a release to sort of find himself and get himself up there by getting that wrestling venture, I guess, because the Stardust thing, I'm not sure it was to his liking, even though he pulled it off very, very well, which goes to show how professional he was about it all. Matt, other news in wrestling and slightly politics here, but Linda McMahon is taking up a position in office now under the president-elect, as it is at the moment, Donald Trump. Is that surprising to you? I know she tried to run for Senate many years ago, and I guess it was always going to be on the cards, I suppose, if Donald did get in. Would that mean there was a position for Linda? And I do believe there was quite a bit of financial backing in there, and I think that was a given. But did you see this happening anyway? Well, she's always taken an interest in that, isn't she? And I guess when you've got friends in high places, it can be a big help. So. I'm not totally against it. I'm sure she'll be capable at the job, so it'll be interesting to find out how that works out, though.
Yeah, interesting for WWE, because, of course, they have to be so careful with... I mean, they can be now because of the PG thing, but I'm pretty sure the Attitude Era would not have allowed that so much.
Yeah, that would have been a bit awkward there, wouldn't it? Some of the things reflecting back on her that could have been happening.
Exactly. So it's politics and wrestling nowadays, folks. We got a Hall of Famer. You got your first Hall of Famer as president right there. So there's definitely a lot of crossovers going into that now. Moving on swiftly, I believe. Moving on very swiftly. Now, Matt, have you seen much more of the network recently, and any new programs that they've put on now? I know they've put on like this new program. What was it? Something like the stories of WWE stories.
I haven't had a chance to watch them yet, but I want to see it. Story Time, I think it is.
Yeah, Story Time. That's right. Yeah, and network in general, because we did get some questions about the network, and I didn't have enough time to talk about it, to be honest, last time. Because it would have taken up everything. But I did have this moment, it probably was about a month ago now. I think I remember messaging you about it. I spent probably the whole day, the best part of a full day, going through the entire network of things I just sort of catched up on. I did get a little bit more from but it's one of those things with the WWE network, Matt, that the original programs, you have to be in the mood for it, I think, because it's not one of those things that you just want to get home and first thing I think about watching is the WWE network. I mean, I'm a massive wrestling fan, but those programs, especially the original ones, don't really appeal to me all that much. I mean, I like anything to do with kind of history. I kind of watch if there's like an interview with an older wrestler or something like that. I'll probably watch that. But when it comes to these sort of swerved programs or Camp WWE or those kind of things or these countdown things, it's kind of like stuff I kind of feel like I've seen it all before, but it's just coming at me in a different way. Especially with programs like Ride Along or Table for Free, I'm kind of thinking like, what am I watching? Like another version of Come Dine With Me in a weird kind of way, but I'm watching wrestlers. It's very odd that I'm seeing that, and sometimes I just think programs are just there, like they've just got all this filming, and they're just thinking to themselves, what else can we make up with it? I know, we'll chuck this in, on the next drive we'll just stick a camera in, and we'll get some material out of that as well. But the thing with me, Matt, is those programs, they don't really add anything to it for me as far as value. Like I think if they wasn't there, I wouldn't be too bothered. Like it's not exactly, I can't wait to see it. I like kind of the 24 program. I think that's pretty decent whenever they have one of those. But there seems like there's a lot more thought goes into those ones, and the production's a little bit differently. But your experiences recently, Matt, what are you kind of watching on it, and are you sort of? I mean, I think we've had this discussion before as well, where I asked you, do you go back on things? And it's one of those things where I kind of felt like before I got the network, I thought, oh my God, I will not stop watching this thing. I will not know where to watch next. Like, I want to go to 96 to 87 to all these things, but I really don't search out those kind of things, to be quite honest with you. I might occasionally go to something that I want to see, but I don't know. What is your take, Matt, and how are you perceiving the network currently?
Yeah, it really is a weird situation because before the network came out, I straight away knew like WWE was going to get my money from me because I want to get this huge library of wrestling. That's what I was thinking. And like you, I was thinking I don't know where I'm going to start. There's going to be so much I'm going to want to watch, and that's what sold it to me. I bought it because I want to see the wrestling, It didn't even enter my mind if I was going to see three guys chatting at a dinner table. It didn't even enter my mind, or whether I was going to see people having a laugh on the road, or a cartoon, or anything like that. None of that was in my mind at all. And so it was just sold to me on the wrestling, and it still is, really. I have it just so I can watch the latest wrestling. I want to watch NXT. I want to watch the pay-per-views. I want to watch sometimes the special things they have, like you said, like the documentaries on some people. Still not too much that bothered about like the other smaller shows, like you mentioned, like the Table for Free or the Ride Along and all that. Camp WWE doesn't really draw me in too much. I'm still just watching it for the more recent stuff. But like the older stuff, occasionally I would dip into it. But that's where the weird situation lies. When I had like these pay-per-views taped, when they used to air them on Sky Sports, and then you would record them, and then you'd have like a video library. You'd be like, Backlash 2003.
Yeah.
Then one day you'll be sitting on your own thinking, I might put that on. Even though you've forgotten what was on it, you just put it on for fun. That's what I used to do. But now it just seems like the real spoiler for me is on the WWE Network, when you pick up a random event from the past, sometimes when you like skip through it, it will tell you the winners. And you're like, I don't want to know the winner. Why am I even watching
Yeah,
this?
I don't know why they do that. I mean, I like the idea they have the markers where the matches are and you can skip, which is kind of cool. But I don't like the idea that in the box, like you say, it tells you the outcome. Randy Savage beats, and it's like, oh, okay, great. I didn't know, but now I definitely do know, kind of thing. So it's kind of annoying if you use it like that. I do think, like listen, when anything comes about the first time, and even Netflix had its moments, it's never perfect, and there's always room for improvement, and it evolves. But I do feel like there are little things that WWE could really tweak and make a huge difference, and I think the layout has got to be slightly more easier and accessible, because a lot of this history, like I'm saying, it's all there. They've got this massive collections vault as well. It's not even just WWE, CW and WCW anymore. They've got like literally Georgia Championship. I mean, they've got AWA, they've got Smoky Mountain on there. I mean, they've got WCCW. They've got loads of these episodes, but they are in sort of a weird position on the network. Like they don't really feature enough. I also think that one of my sort of pet hates, and it might just be me, is the fact that every time I start a freaking episode of something, I have to see the WWE logo thing come on. It really annoys me because I'm like, I know I'm on the network. That's why I clicked it in the first place. Like every time I watch a movie on Netflix, I don't have to see the Netflix logo come up for 3 or 4 seconds before I can get into the movie. That kind of does get on my nerves slightly. Like you want to just click on something and be there. That's kind of the beauty about streaming devices over TV. But sometimes I think WWE is a little bit kind of still living in the sort of grey areas of that. And the other thing as well I'll say is that they could really benefit from, rather than all these other sort of websites commenting on news, and when we first hear things, it always comes up on WWE.com. Why, Matt, do they not have something like a news table, like a news centre, that even just comes on for like half hour, and maybe you just keep replaying it or do whatever you got to do, but you find out that day's news in like a half hour sequence, because they've got the studios, they move around all the time, they could easily do that. Because I think that would get people watching it a little bit more for different reasons, to find out some news. Like for instance, Shinsuke Nakamura won his title back. Now I only know that because of websites, and the WWE.com thing come up on Facebook as well. But why do they not have that? I'm not saying air the match, but I'm simply saying like a news bulletin about this is what happened. Instead of having these panels showing up before a pay-per-view, why not have the panel system sort of with a presenter on a kind of like a little news centre, like anything else would, or any other sports would. But I don't know if that's a decent idea or not really, Matt, but I'm surprised they haven't just gone with that yet. It's something that I would have thought they'd have had.
Yeah, I like that idea. It keeps it kind of current, doesn't it? It keeps it up to date.
It gives you a reason to get people on it daily, as opposed to now and then, really, just for your NXTs and all the rest of it.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, for me, I just check in whenever I feel like only if there's like a new episode out is when I tune in. So if there was something constantly fresh, new every day, then it would get people checking in more often. I mean, I know like the Shinsuke Nakamura match, they didn't do a good job of keeping it a secret if that's what they were trying to do, because I know they put like that match on the most recent NXT, but by then everyone had known Shinsuke was going to win the title back. So that kind of was like, they did have some. They didn't really do a good job with the spoiler alerts, did they?
No. The interesting news as well is that there's been a lot of. You probably might have got the email yourself, Matt, but I don't know if you really bothered to open up WWE Network emails. But there was an email sent out where it was asking fans. Like a kind of polling thing, and like trying to mark the network, and it did ask a lot of questions about what indie promotions would you like to see on it, and it did say TNA, it did say Ring of Honor, it did say Evolve as well, and that was quite interesting. The fact that they might try and get some independent promotions on there. I've heard that quite a bit, and I think they're probably better investing their money there as opposed to all these original programming, to get something a little bit different on it. But that would be, I don't know how that would work, Matt, because you're giving the independent promotion exposure to a bigger audience, but I don't know how that works for the promotion that's going on there. Like, what they're obviously going to gain a bigger audience, but I don't know how the money would work between the two, and then also, does that mean WWE get like a free picking of talent whenever they want it? That would be the difficulty, I suppose.
I don't know, when you think of the kind of relationship they have with Ring of Honor, it kind of would be beneficial for both of them, really. I mean, Ring of Honor can do with a bigger exposure, especially to the UK audience. That would be great for them, and pretty much when WWE asks a wrestler from Ring of Honor, do you want to come work for us? they don't usually say no anyway. So you can't really block the talent from moving to WWE.